Furiosa, a crazy Max story. Many celebrities can be seen appearing in a variety of roles in enduring television series, such as Law and Order and Star Trek. Despite not having a television component like those other shows, Mad Max nevertheless uses a lot of the same actors, usually in far more important parts. George Miller became a lifetime friend when he cast Hugh Bayan in Mad Max in 1979. In the first movie, Bayan portrays the vicious Toe-Cutter, the head of the biker gang that kills Max's family. Even though Toe-Cutter passes away at the end of the film, Bayan came back to be the main antagonist in Mad Max: Fury Road. One of the original Mad Max actors' identities is concealed by the horrifying mask covering Immortan Joe's face. Bayan's performance in the first Max movie is said to have so pleased Miller that throughout the years, he made numerous attempts to cast Bayan in most of his upcoming projects. Miller attempted to cast Bayan as the Martian Manhunter in his abandoned Justice League film, but was unsuccessful in landing him a voice part in 1998's Babe, Pig in the City. Max Fairchild, the broken victim, and Mel Gibson, who played the starring role, and Max Fairchild were the only two Mad Max performers to return for the Road Warrior. In the first movie, Fairchild portrays Benno, a farmhand who works on Mace Swayze's land as an elderly woman. Despite the second Mad Max movie having a comparatively high death toll, Fairchild is among the first actors whose role is killed by the antagonist Humongous. In the later movie, he portrays a refinery employee who is dispatched on a scouting mission and returns strapped to Humongous' car as a prisoner. He is just credited as broken victim. George Miller took a unique decision with Bruce Spence. Despite the fact that the Australian actor has a striking face and that neither of his roles covered their faces with masks or prosthetics, Miller used Spence to play two very distinct but very identical roles in two different movies. Despite Miller's insistence on the contrary, some fans of the film still believe Spence plays the same character in both films. As the Gyro Captain, Spence joined the cast of Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior in 1981. He later plays Jedediah in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, the sequel, which came out in 1986. Both characters are pilots and successful criminals who either attempt or succeed in robbing Max before turning into Max's ally. Mad Max: Fury Road introduces us to Slit, one of the few war boys we actually get to know. He has a facial scar that resembles Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker. He begins as a brother-in-arms alongside Nux, played by Nicholas Hoult. Slit, in contrast to Nux, remains devoted to Immortan Joe until his fiery demise. Not as Slit, but Hellman is one of the Mad Max performers that George Miller returned for the prequel Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Rather, he portrays Scrotus, a son of Immortan Joe. Unlike Joe's two sons, Rictus Erectus and Corpus Colossus, Scrotus appears as a villain in the 2015 video game Mad Max instead of in Fury Road. George Miller took things a step further in Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, by casting two of his performers in distinct parts within the same movie. Blackie Hulme initially appears as one-eyed Dementus Lieutenant Rizdale Pell. Hugh Bayan, who played the original Immortan Joe, regrettably died away in 2020, thus, Hulme also portrays Furiosa's rendition of the character. Elsa Pataski, better known to fans as Alina from the Fast and Furious film series, is the second Mad Max actor to play two parts in Furiosa. She plays a Vuvolini general from the home of young Furiosa early on in the movie. Later, Pataski portrays the considerably more terrifying Mr. Norton, who is a survivor of an early Dementus conquest and, unsurprisingly, outlives nearly all of Dementus' other lieutenants. For more videos, subscribe.